is Martin Root with Project Heaven on Earth. I have a dear friend today, David Wood. We met, the first time I remember meeting you, David, was on a bus going to the Transformational Leadership Conference in Aspen, I think, or somewhere in Colorado, and just being so mesmerized by the way you thought about life. And I wanted to have you on Project Heaven on Earth today because you've just come out with a new book called Mouse in the Room, which is an unusual title because normally we think of elephant in the room. So first of all, welcome. And second of all, you're welcome. And second of all, why mouse in the room? Why not elephant in the room?
A great question. So the full title is Mouse in the Room because the elephant isn't alone. And it started for me when I realized that I was hiding so many things, and I got coaching, and I realized that my upbringing didn't allow me to check in with myself and realize what I'm feeling and what I'm really wanting. Surface stuff, yeah, I got it. Or if I was really angry, I'd know I was really angry. But the rest of it, I had no clue. My parents didn't say, how do you feel about that, David? Where is that in your body? You're angry? Say more about that. You want to beat a pillow? That wasn't what I had. And if you're anything like me, you've learned to squish down what I call your mice. And when I got coaching over and over and over again to identify what was happening and then artfully name it with another person, and it could be at work, it could be a potential client, it could be my partner. Whenever I named it, 9 times out of 10, life got better and work got better. So I thought, how do I put this in a book? I want people to name what's happening. And I thought, what's the closest we've got to this in society? And I thought, the elephant in the room. We all know about the elephant room. You see it, I see it, no one's saying anything. I was just on a podcast and the guy had a jacket and no t-shirt, no shirt at all, bare chested. And after 5 minutes, I'm like, is that a skin colored shirt or do you have no, that's the elephant in the room. But many creatures in the room are much more subtle, Martin. It could be something I'm experiencing that you have no clue of, or I don't know if you have a clue about. Maybe I was late to a meeting last week and I'm thinking, should I apologize? Are people annoyed that I was late? Is that a thing I should name? That's a mouse. So the book's called Mouse in the Room because the elephant is not alone, and it's to help us identify our mice and then artfully name them so we can come into deeper connection.
I love the phrase, David, artfully name them, because you don't want to, I think you don't want to blast people with them, right?
No, this is one of the reasons that we're not mouse naming in our worldwide culture, is because if we do it the wrong way, things get worse. Person gets upset, they're defensive, they're arguing. So in the book, I outline a process to artfully name that mouse and also to disarm the person so that they're well set to receive. And I give a short example, if I may.
Please.
I was encouraged by my coach a long time ago to make a list of people I was incomplete with, anyone I resented. And I said, nobody. Coach said, keep looking. Well, I thought of this guy from high school. And 20 years earlier, this guy had made fun of me in class. And I tried to make fun of him, but he was better at it. And he just one-upped me and I felt bullied by him. And I hated him for 20 years. And my coach said, okay, call him. I said, no, no, I'm not. She said, why? I said, I'm worried he'll think I'm an idiot. And she didn't have this phrase with the mouse, but what she said was basically, that's a new mouse. Name that, lead with that. And I thought, okay, I could do that. So I called him and I said, I'm worried. I'm so scared to make this call because I'm worried you're going to think I'm a complete idiot calling you about this after 20 years. And it totally disarmed him. He said, oh, well, now I'm curious. What have you got? Tell me. And I just simply said, I've been resenting you for 20 years. Wow. Here's why. I'm letting it go. You don't actually have to do anything. I just wanted to tell you. And I'm really nervous about doing it. And this man who I held as a jerk for 20 years said, well, what can I say or do now to help us move forward?
Wow.
That guy went from a jerk that I'd resented, and who knows what other relationships that was impacting for me, to a friend that day. And the next time I went back to town, he was there at the pub and he invited me to join his table, invited me to come back to his house with some other friends. And you know how I was worried what he'd think of me. At 1 a.m., he whispered to me, look, I don't think I ever would have had the courage to make that call that you made. And I just want to name that. So
Brilliant.
there's a short example of naming a mouse and how magic can happen regardless of the relationship.
When I was thinking about this interview, it's a great story, a great story. And I love it when people do that to me. There's several times in my life I can think of, I just go into ecstasy that you have the guts to overcome your own fear because you want to heal a relationship and make it work.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. Yeah.
It's a badass move to do that.
Badass, for those people to understand, is means something good. Remember,
Yeah, that's right.
This is going around the world.
Yeah.
When we spoke about the book and the idea about the book, I was asking you how this connected with Heaven on Earth. And one of the things you said was, it's about the value of authenticity. As many of my readers and viewers know, one of the gateways into Heaven on Earth is living a global value. And when I heard you say that it's about authenticity and the strength of the word authenticity, and really the gateway into Heaven on Earth of the more authentic you are, the more you live authentically, the more, in my language, the more heaven on earth is present. So one of the questions is, what is, because you said the opposite of authenticity is, do you remember the word you used? Was acting. And so you distinguish
That
for
sounds
me,
true.
you distinguish for me acting versus authenticity. So could you again do that?
Yeah. We're all actors in a way. I don't want to show you how upset I am because it might go badly. I might get in trouble. I might lose something. I might want to hide things like I broke something because I could get in trouble. If I did something at work that was a really big error, I might get fired. If I confess to my partner that I kissed somebody 5 years ago, I might lose the relationship and custody of the kids. So we're all actors to some extent, and that's fine. The ego wants us to thrive and survive in life. So we've learned these behaviors. The thing is it leads to isolation, disconnection, and people won't trust us. They won't know why. They'd just be less likely to hang out, less likely to hire you, less likely to promote you, less likely to date and marry you. So I've written the book to help us come back to revealing the truth of ourselves so that people can know who we are. And that's the only way I'm aware of to have true connection and love.
I've got nothing to say. It's fabulous. That's it. That is living a global value. That is an access gateway clearly to heaven on earth.
Yeah. Now, can I say too, it's counterintuitive. I get it. The brain doesn't go, oh, here's something awkward. Let's go talk about that. Or that desire you've held for 10 years, it's time. Like the brain doesn't often do that. It just says, let's just stay safe and keep the status quo. I want to shake that up. I'm here to shake it up. And Martin, I heard a question yesterday that was maybe one of the saddest questions I can remember hearing. And the question was, how well do you have to know someone before you can name a mouse with them? And I said, let me rephrase that. What you're saying is, how well do you need to know someone before you can tell the truth? What kind of a world are we living in where that's a valid question? That you have to get to a certain level with someone before you can tell the truth? I'm outraged by that. You don't, even strangers, there is a way to share who you are artfully in a way that creates deeper connection. You won't always get it. You know, sometimes you'll do it. They might have their own mice. And so you listen to their mice. And then you might go back the next day, say, can I have a round two? I feel like I could have done that better. I blew it 2 nights ago on stage. I'm acting these days here in Los Angeles. And I was trying to get into
No,
character. And
when you say acting, you don't mean acting the way we've been speaking about it.
no, acting professionally, right? The irony,
The
the
irony,
irony.
yeah.
Yeah. But even in acting, you're going for truth.
Yeah.
The definition of acting I love is truthful reactions under imaginary circumstances.
Mm.
So even acting is about truth. But I'm on stage, the curtain's about to open, and I'm about to perform something in a theater. And there's this guy over on the corner making jokes and laughing and whatever backstage. And it's pissing me off. I'm trying to get into character. And so I just blurted out, hey, can we have the stage? And I saw his face kind of go blank, and he went into the back. I didn't realize he was there to open the curtain for us. But still, I just did it badly. So the next day, I created a little video. And, I got a round 2. And I said, I did that badly. I didn't name what was going on for me. I didn't tell you the context. What was going on is I was trying to get into character, and I found it distracting, and I wanted to ask you to be quiet. I did it very clumsily, and I want to apologize for that. And thank you. This is an appreciation, Mouse. Thank you for handling the curtain for us. And he wrote back to me and said, hey, all good, totally get it. No apology necessary. You are good people. Now I know I'm good with that guy. I don't have to wonder every time I see him.
Yeah.
Is he pissed about it? No, it's complete. I blew it the first round. You get a second round. Go back, take another shot.
I remember a teacher of mine, God rest his soul, Bob Branscombe, used to talk about relationships. And he said he would say most people believe relationships are 50-50. And he would say, no, they're not. And so I said, oh, they're 100-100. And he said, no, they're 100 you, 0 the other person. And that's what I'm reminded of as you're speaking, because with that context of I'm 100% responsible and you're 0% responsible, you can go in the way you talked about, to set the context, to set the communication, to say the communication in a loving, gracious way. And then, and if you blow it, as you said, you go for round 2. Fabulous.
Well, let me double click on that. I don't normally go there with the book because it's a deeper concept, but yeah, it is all about you. I was just asked today, how do you get your team to do this? And how do you get them to feel safe enough to be more transparent? I said, look, here are some things you can do out there, but it starts with you. If you want your team to be more courageous, you model courage. You start naming your mice. You might even say, I want us to have a more transparent culture. I want you to feel safe enough to say what's working and what's not. How do we get there? That's naming your mice with people and modeling it. And as we wrote the book and got to, 8 different kinds of mice, I had this realization that it's all about you. And so I created a separate category called mirror mouse.
Ooh.
Because every mouse you have shows you something about you, and it's clarity for your desires, your tolerations, your confessions. It's all mirror. So we didn't lead with that in the book because it's pretty spiritual woo-woo for some people. So it's like, here are all of your mice, and then at the end, here's a fact that you might just discover a mouse for you and name it in your journal, and that might be enough, because after all, you're the one that really needs to be listening to these mice.
The author is David Wood. The book is Mouse in the Room. It is available at, let me look at here, mouseintheroom.com.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
I'm looking down at my
it's
notes,
ready
and it's
now.
right there on the screen. Mouseintheroom.com. And David, just before, because this is the first time I saw the final cover today, you have Jack Canfield, who's written the foreword from Chicken Soup for the Soul. You have Ivan Meisner, who was the creator of BNI, Business Network International, who said, you want to quote what he said?
He said, this is the best book for managers and leaders since Who Moved My Cheese.
It's an amazing statement. And Ivan doesn't make those kinds of statements unless it's true for him. And then on the front left upper corner is a woman named
Shannon Muir. Shannon Muir is a client of mine that I've used this approach with in our coaching. And she wrote that David's approach connected the dots between who I am and how I lead.
And she
she's a
is
she's a
go ahead.
vice president at Warner Brothers.
Fabulous. David,
Yeah.
congratulations on the book. Well done, my dear friend. Well done. Mouse in the Room, mouseintheroom.com. Just, I love being with you, David. Thank you for this. And thank you for being a heaven maker.
Oh, my pleasure. And if I can just name a desire mouse of my own, definitely get the book for yourself. And if you want to start a mouse naming revolution, get several copies of the book and gift them to your friends. We're going to have a Kindle special, which is going to be a crazy low price. Buy 15 Kindle versions and gift them to the people who matter to you. Could be your teammates, could be your boss, could be your kids, could be your partner. Mouse naming gets a lot easier when everyone around you is also mouse naming. So that's my desire mouse, to start a mouse naming revolution.
As a gateway into heaven on earth, very clear. David, thanks, brother.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.